Tonight on Life and Times. A once splendid theater has hit hard times, but preservationists say it can be beautiful again if they can save it from the wrecking ball. These stories and more next on tonight's Life and Times. An 11th hour attempt is underway in Fullerton to save a beloved landmark. It's the Fox Theatre, and it's built by the same people who built the world-famous Grauman's Chinese Theatre. But it will take millions to restore. Nevertheless, preservationists are passionate about saving the Fox Theatre. Save the Fox! They were a small but vocal crowd. Save the Fox! The Fox Theatre, a historic landmark built in 1925, sits in the heart of Fullerton, an area that's enjoying a comeback. And these Fullerton residents are intent on keeping this two-story Italian Renaissance building from meeting the wrecking ball. But it will take $3.5 million to buy it, and time is of the essence. It's slated to be demolished very soon to make way for apartments and retail. 3 years ago, the Fullerton Historic Theatre Foundation was founded to save the Fox. Tonight, even a Joan Rivers lookalike was on hand to gather support.
I might give out my next Botox treatment to save the Fox. Not too close.
But while the crowd outside was noisy, inside the theater, it's dark and damp. Water damage from the rain and graffiti give it an eerie feel. The theater's been closed since 1987, when multiplexes lured audiences away from single-screen downtown cinemas. Now, after 17 years of deterioration, virtually every square foot of this once splendid theater is in need of repair. I got a tour from preservationist Jane Reifer.
Well, it's very valuable to our community because we used to have a going theater for almost 70 years, and it's a big gap now that it's gone. That's one of the main reasons we'd like to save it. But also, it has wonderful art treasures inside, beautiful murals by very famous mural artists. And also, it was built by the same people who built Grauman's Chinese Theatre and Grauman's Egyptian. It's a little piece of Hollywood right here in Fullerton. In the 50s, when people were trying to modernize, not just theaters, but all kinds of buildings, most of the vintage theaters had their prosceniums or stage openings gutted. And we're so very lucky because in ours, you can see the scaffolding here. Our screen was put across that, and because they did it on the cheap, we still have our complete proscenium opening. And so this will be a wonderful opportunity to show art film, foreign film, as well as stage performances and concerts, because we have that opportunity. We have both features here.
For many long-time Fullerton residents, like Stan Kelton, the memories of the Fox are very personal.
I can actually remember not driving by this theater originally, but being driven by it as a 4 or 5-year-old child on the way from La Habra to Anaheim to see my aunts. And my father had attended this theater as a child himself, and I've wanted to know what's inside of it for about 47 years, and it certainly was worth the wait.
On the side walls hang colorful canvas murals, and each mural depicts an historical event from California's past.
Those huge murals are now lost to time, but one small swath was restored to show what could be. There was one area that miraculously, despite years of neglect, has survived. You brought us up to the second floor.
Yes.
And for a very special reason. Why is that?
Yes, we're here in the mezzanine, and what's wonderful about the mezzanine is that the murals on this floor have been completely preserved since 1925. These murals were done by John Gabriel Beckman, who was most famous for his tile mosaic murals at the Avalon Casino in Catalina. So his career spanned from the 20s through the 90s, and again, he cut his teeth at our theater.
The current owner, a Century City attorney, is willing to sell the property to the foundation for $3.5 million. But that's just the purchase price. The additional restoration, repairs, and upgrades to current safety codes would cost an estimated $10 million.
It's an expensive proposition. People are restoring historic buildings all over the country now, and the science is better on replacing materials if it needs to be, or replicating materials, and making sure that you can keep a sense of the past while making things safe for the current era.
Hanging from the painted ceiling are these massive wrought iron chandeliers that just give the whole theater an air of sophistication.
I've got to say, too, in communities that are less arts-oriented, that don't have the wealth that our town has, and they've been able to save their historic theaters, it's being done all over the country, so we would like to do it, too.
If the passion of the supporters is any indication, and the imagination of preservationists is any measure,
What an incredible thrill it would be to one day go back and see a show or watch a movie at the Fox Fullerton. You know, I think there's
The Fox Theatre could have a chance at a second life.
In fact, I can't imagine Fullerton without the Fox. Can you?
Time seems to be running out, though, for the Fox Theatre. The foundation has not been able to raise the $3.5 million it needs to buy the property. And last week, the city of Fullerton turned down their request for additional help. Bottom line, unless a lot of money can be raised really fast, the theater will likely be destroyed. And that's our program. I'm Val Zavala. For everyone at Life and Times, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.